Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Holistic Cottage. It's Melissa, and today I'm going to start with an update, and then I'm going to touch on politics. I hate to touch on politics on the podcast, but everything is connected, and politics has spilled over into my page and groups, so I do want to address that. So there's a trigger warning on that. When I post up my info and put what it's going to be about, I will try to narrow it right down to what minute that will start. So if you wish to skip it, that's all cool. Okay? So let's begin with the weekly update. We had horrible weather in my part of the world, and then it shifted to a warming trend, which was very awesome. It actually got up into the 50s. So I pulled out that little holiday present I got for myself, and I pulled out the Mooncool Electric Assist Tricycle and cruised around the neighborhood a bit. Now I'm finding that some of the neighbors and some other people seem to be triggered by, I need to adjust just a little bit. Okay. Seem to be triggered by my Mooncool trike. I don't know if it's just because they're not used to seeing something like that around here, or if it's like the electric bike option, although there are some other people that ride regular two-wheel electric bikes around here. It's very hilly, so if you're old like me with knee problems, the electric assist is awesome. But it's been weird. I've actually encountered motor vehicle aggression twice up here in the neighborhood. Like, I try to pull off the road as far as I can. Some of the berms are very high, so it would be dangerous for me to just go right off because I could end up in a ditch. But I was surprised by the vehicle aggression, so that's something. I guess I'll have to carry a rosary or something when I go out there. I don't understand the negativity of that. I'm a very cautious driver and rider, and I stay out of everyone's way. So I don't get that. So there was that, but maybe again that ties into just the negative climate in the United States right now. I'm not sure. So in my life, I'm working on 2 community projects with 2 different community organizations. One is working on some environmental stuff, so I'm meeting with some other ladies. We will be meeting with a tree guy on Tuesday, and so send out your collective energy that I can convince them to put some, if they're going to plant trees, that we choose some native species, because the land in that area needs healing, and that could be a good thing. And then I'm continuing on the library project. Much work done there, trying to make a safe, comfy, educational spot for young readers, because that's a topic that's very passionate to my heart as a retired teacher. So that's been cool and fun and a lot of work, but like the good kind of work, the kind of work that you like to do because it's an important project to me that I care about. Otherwise, I have a Qigong training this week and have some other internet webinar stuff, always getting pulled into the collaborations in the internet universe, which is cool. I love that. And so that's pretty much like the community part. So with my family, we got some bad news. Our favorite coffee place, it's called Cosmic Charlie's, announced on Facebook that they will be closing. We absolutely loved Cosmic Charlie's because it was like cool. Like coffee houses often have like cool decor and stuff. It was cool in Charlie's. Like each part of the room was done with a slightly different vibe, but I sort of vibed with it all because it was just cool and antique furniture and a big old piano and neat pictures and light fixtures. It was just a cool place. And their coffee was good too. Let's not forget the coffee. So very sad to find out that Cosmic Charlie's is closing. Now I believe the people that have it own the building though, because they have another business in the building as well. So I'm curious if they're going to change the format maybe from coffee house to a different type of restaurant, or maybe they'll just lease that out to someone else. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, Cosmic Charlie's, we will be sad to see you go. So I had a cappuccino. I think hubby had, I want to say, some kind of chocolate latte. And then kiddo had the diabetic special. He had plain coffee with some sugar-free syrup and that type of thing that was safe for him at that time of the day. So Charlie's, we will miss you. I hope another coffee house goes in, because I do enjoy going out for a yummy cup of coffee and just hanging out in a cool environment like that. Now, after coffee, the whole reason we went to that town, which is about a 30-minute ride over the mountains from the cottage, another library. I've never worked in this library. I have participated in many programs in this other community library. Kiddo used to go to Lego Club there all the time, and Lego Club is cool, so yay, Lego Club. But I had seen a Facebook event that they were bringing a gentleman in to talk about authors and indie publishers, indie authors, and basically self-publishing, and how to get off and rolling with that. Kiddo is working on 2 books, and I'm working on one as well. I'm already set up with KDP Kindle publishing. But I thought this would be a cool thing to go see, and then we found out that this is the first of 2 others. So I think next time they're doing graphic novels and comic books. So if you're interested in writing a graphic novel or a comic book and you live in the central Pennsylvania area, it will be next Saturday. So today is the 11th, so do the math. Okay, today is January 11th. It's a 111 portal day. Do the math. Next Saturday will be the graphic novel and comic book one, how to get started on your journey of self-publishing your own comic books. And then the Saturday after will be children's books. So we're hoping, Christopher and I are hoping to attend all of those, hoping the weather will cooperate with that. So if you do live in central Pennsylvania, I don't think they're doing an online version on this. If you live in central Pennsylvania, it is at the Bellwood Community Library located in Bellwood, Pennsylvania, which is about 10 miles from the city of Altoona, Pennsylvania. If you're in Pennsylvania, this probably makes sense to you. If not, you can just skip this part. But if you are local and that interests you, you can go on the Bellwood Community Facebook page. They have an event tab set up for that, and you can click that and do the appropriate things. I need to shift a little bit, which I know will affect my sound. You wouldn't think that just me moving my hand or something would affect the sound on Podbean, but sometimes it does. So that's weird. So I think that covers the updates and the local stuff. Tensions are getting high on social media. There's been a lot because of some political tensions in the United States. Like I said at the beginning, I usually don't spend a lot of time addressing these things on the podcast. I might put a little note out about something, but if you followed me before on my original Christian witch group, you know that I pulled it down and archived it because of these kind of political issues. The feeling of unsafeness and the feelings of gatekeeping in magical communities, but just gatekeeping in general on Facebook. So that's what I'm going to talk about next. I may turn off the music because it's a serious topic and I don't want my music, which is called Cheerful Something or Other. Cheerful Day. This is not a cheerful topic, so I may take like a 5 to 10 second pause of silence. Well, that's a nice idea. There was a death, and we all know who I'm talking about. So I will take a 10 to 15 second pause of silence. That will put us about at the 12-minute mark, and I will note that on my write-up. And then I will continue without music. So at this time, I'm going silent, and if you would like to use this for a moment of prayer reflection, please do. So it's so weird because I always run music when I play because I like the vibe of it. But this is not a happy topic, so I decided we'll skip the music, and if anyone is bothered by this topic or does not want to hear this part, this may be just a good time to leave for this week. You had the update, you know what's going on, and I think the next podcast will be one of those yoga and time breaks that I do that just keep moving initiative. It'll be a short one, but that is the next planned podcast. So if you would like to leave, blessings on your journey, and I will see you next time. I guess I won't see you, but I'll mentally see you because I know you're out there and I know who comes on and listens. Okay, so it's weird for me to not have music in the background. I prefer to do it with music. I like that vibe, but let's just do this and see how it goes. So last week, probably almost everybody knows, unless you're living under, a rock or you don't have access to communications, there was a shooting in Minneapolis. The woman who was shot, her name was Renee Good. Now, from a political point of view, I know that people have very strong feelings on this. I'm going to try to be as neutral as I can. I'm just going to explain it like the way I see it, the way I heard it, and my feelings about it, and how it's affecting my pages and groups and the way people are interacting with each other in my pages and groups. As much as possible, I want to focus on that. So the news part of this story is that a woman was shot by an officer, and there are very conflicting reports about the why and the how of it, even though it's on video. Now, personally, I like to listen to and watch different perspectives of the news because I don't think it's a secret that some Some news platforms lean very conservative and some lean very liberal and some are a mix in the middle. I don't think that's a secret. And also, sometimes I like to get perspectives from the news from other countries, like the BBC. Okay? So, and then I've probably seen way too many reels of this because they just pop up on Facebook. Myself, I have seen different versions of this video from different angles, and honestly, some of them don't match, which means there probably has been some AI or other tools enhancing those videos. Now, we all know we live in a society where that's possible, because I'm a less than mediocre video and audio editor, and I could probably do some of that with an AI tool if I wanted to. And it wouldn't look professional, and it would be hot garbage, to be honest. But I don't have a lot of skills, and I could probably do something like that. So people who are very skilled or have much better technology available to them than I have, can produce much better AI generated videos. So I'll just leave it at that. I've seen several versions that don't necessarily match. So we have that going on, that there's different versions, different video versions of the same event, whether they're taken from a different angle or tools have actually been used on them to make them different. Now, as the story goes, I've heard that the woman was obstructing all day long, and then I've heard the other side of the story as well, that the woman wasn't obstructing at all. She was just going to pick up a child at school or something like that, and was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Again, I've heard different news accounts of both. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'm trying to stay neutral in what happened. As far as the video of the actual gunshots, I have seen different versions of that as well. Some with her tires turned, some with her tires straight, and with the vehicle operating at different speeds. Okay? So you can take that information and you can process that however you want to. Again, trying to stay as neutral as possible. Now, how this affects what I do, one of the largest magical communities on Facebook does permit politics. It's right in the rules that they permit politics, but they do not permit MAGA members. I've been on that group off and on because I leave it from time to time because it can be ridiculous. To my knowledge, that has been a rule for quite a while. Also, that rule has been ignored from pretty much the beginning. There have always been people who have identified as MAGA on that group. But, you know, now there's some escalating because of political tensions. And that's spilling over to other places in social media. So when all this started, I put up a post, I think with a pretty picture, just saying political tensions. I put it on my own page, the cottage page. Political tensions are high. Let's avoid political topics that may be triggering at this time. I could look it up and read it to you, but it says something like that. And I got some hearts and some, and everybody was cool about it. I thought that things would start to de-escalate by now, and actually in some venues they are getting so much worse. So some pages, some groups are going through the membership, and I was asked to send a copy, like a screenshot of my voter registration to prove not only who I am, but what my voter registration is. If you're in a different country, I don't know what it looks like in other countries, but in the United States, like it has your name, and then if you're registered Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green, Libertarian, and I think there's a couple other choices. At the moment, I am absolutely not sending my voter registration to anyone that has a Facebook group. That's not happening. So that had spilled over into my world. Someone asked me if I was going to do that. So I addressed that, and I'm going to be as honest about this as I can, and someone called me ignorant and stupid and some other foul, profane names. But I do not care what your political affiliation is. If you are a listener, if you follow me on social media, if you follow my page, if you are on my groups, because I have the camping one and I have the yoga one, and then I have my own personal page as well. If you're a Facebook friend, if you follow me anywhere, if you view me anywhere, and you enjoy the content that I put out, and whether or not you've ever had a conversation with me on social media or not, a lot of people have, but if you haven't, if you're just somebody that enjoys lurking and reading what I do and the art that I share from other people who follow me and we sort of collaborate with each other, if you enjoy that content, I'm so happy. That's why I do what I do. If you enjoy the content, that's fine. I do not need to know your political affiliation, any personal identifiers, your socioeconomic status. I do not need to know, and honestly, I do not want to know, because it's none of my business. I'm a digital creator who enjoys doing what I do. If you enjoy what I do, thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. The only thing that I ask is on my groups and page, please be kind to each other. Sometimes disagreements do come up, but please be kind to each other. Behave yourself in an adult way. I was accused of blocking someone on an old group because of her political affiliation. I did not block her because of her political affiliation. And I didn't instantly block her either. She called me a very profane name, and I said that behavior would not be tolerated on this group, and then she amped it up and called me a worse profane name, and I said, that's your third strike, because she had already done something before. You will be blocked and removed from the group. And she was. So she went over on other stuff and did a lot of bitching about it, and she did it on another group where I'm like an expert contributor. And I just called her out on it. I said, you were never removed for your political affiliation. You were removed because you called me the C word. And it wasn't the first time you did it. And she said, no, I didn't. I have a screenshot. Do you want me to put it up? That ended that. Okay. But all I ask is just behave kindly to one another. If the content If you don't like the content and you decide to move on, that's your choice, okay? If you need to reach out to me directly, I always provide ways to do that, whether you want to contact me on social media or you can contact me at the Holistic Witch on Gmail. And some of you know me personally, so there's other ways you can contact me as well. There's always ways to contact me, and I'm open to that, but if it becomes profane, if it becomes attacking, then yeah, you're just going to be removed from my digital world. I do not live in a bubble. I live in a very conservative county. I have been honest about the fact that I think my politics are more centrist, and right now centrist has kind of become like a dirty word. I'm not an extremist in any fashion of probably any part of my life. Extreme simplicity, maybe, but I'm not an extremist. If being moderate, if being in the middle makes people uncomfortable and you decide to not follow my content, again, that's your choice. I find that people do that and then they come back. It's happened many times before. But that's where I want to leave that. So I'm sorry that a woman was shot. Regardless of the situation, I'm sorry that a woman was shot. There are children who lost their mother. I'm sorry about that as well. Whether or not the shooting was justified, I have my own opinion on that. I won't share that on the podcast based on the videos that I saw, but I know that people have seen things that I haven't seen. That's another thing I want to address. It's like that disassociation of reality, because AI can literally change reality and change it into other things. So I don't know if what I'm seeing in video is reality or what the other people are seeing as reality, because we live in a time frame where that can happen. So all I will ever ask is kindness on my page and on my groups. We're up to the 27-minute mark. This topic's important, so I don't want to skip over anything. As far as the groups that are demanding to see ID and political affiliation, I suppose if you want to be on a group that is separated like that and demands proof, okay. But I know in my experience with my old group, I've always tried to create welcoming and inclusive spaces. And that's not a great fit for everyone. And there's always been people that say, oh yeah, I resonate with what you're saying, but then they come in and try to make trouble. It's happened before. This isn't new. But when you get into this whole prove thing, you have to prove that you're of the right party or the right this or the right whatever. Again, we live in a society where not only video can be enhanced, but a voter registration can be outright faked. Okay? I'm not advocating that anyone do that. I'm saying it's a real thing. People have the tools to do this. So, wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, just be aware if you're trying to be if you want to be in a group that is only far left, far liberal, don't feel so secure in that fact that that's what it really is. There are trolls, there are bots, there are fake generated profiles that don't even have a human behind them that can basically infiltrate anything. So that's probably the message I want to put out there. If you're trying to live in a separatist environment, just be aware that I don't think, other than living in a bubble in your own home and never turning on the media and never interacting with another anything for the rest of your life, I don't think there's any way that we can completely control who is on the other side of an interaction. As far as the shooting, this type of thing scares me. Some of the reports talk about she was given conflicting, what word am I looking for? She was given conflicting directions. And I even saw one video where you could hear that or sort of see it, like one officer was directing her around and another one was yelling to stop, and there was some profanity in that. We live in a world where we are hit with conflicting directions all the time, okay? Sometimes it's hard to choose, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go or am I supposed to stop? Because I'm going to step on someone's toes. That's a nice way of putting it. But I'm going to be conflicting with somebody's directions, regardless. So that's difficult as well. As a woman who has PTSD, that worries me. I have encountered things out in the public. During pandemic, I was assaulted in a parking lot, and quite honestly, the cops didn't give a damn. Okay? So, I was assaulted because we were coming back from my child's doctor's appointment. He needed to stop and use a restroom. On the way, somebody was offended because he had a mask on. This was mid-pandemic. This was shortly after he had gotten his diabetes diagnosis, so we were warned to be careful. Be careful as far as protecting him. Now, whether you believe masks work or not, whatever, okay? I was being extra vigilant because there were a lot of problems at the time. I was assaulted in a parking lot over that. I was told to stop. I was told to go. There were a lot of people shouting at me, like, one person choose what I'm supposed to do, please. Because conflicting directions from five different points, okay? I don't know if that's what happened in this case or if she truly was out obstructing all day. I really don't know, and I don't need to be the person to make that decision. So, and I'm hearing weird sounds in the background. So that's up to your own judgment to decide what you believe about this and how you want to move on in the future. But if you do follow me on social media anywhere, thank you for being a follower. Things are tense right now. Let's try to keep things calm in my spaces, at least. Okay, I'm asking for calm, and I think I have the right to ask for that. I'm asking for calm in my spaces. I did block a woman today because she used profanity and she called me some other names. I did not remove her because of her political stance. I removed her solely because of her behavior toward me, because it was unacceptable at the time. And that's where I'm going to leave that. I know this will be a hot topic for some. I'm curious to see how this is going to sound on the playback without the music. I can't do it, guys. I got to put the music back on to end. I got to end with my music. I got to end with my outro. But, so wherever you are, things are tense. Be safe, be well, and blessings on your journey. Bye-bye. Here comes Wonder Dog. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Tell them bye.
Bye-bye.
From Melissa and Momo. Bye.